It is a pleasure to meet you at this opportunity to continue previous message on industries development. But it seems an advanced message because most of the world countries still, if not all of them, still on data information economy phase. The second phase, which qualify geographical areas economies to another phase, and you can get back to the latest edition to find those phases. Data and information economy, it does levelize, put levels on each country and how they work through their resources allocations, resources management, financial management, and the investment management, which gives the investment positions to any geographical area, and it does work on businesses too. It is an opportunity to mention a number of important things. Economy structure enhancement. It is very, very important. Most world countries, in beginning with the advanced economies, they need to focus on their financial structure. Economy structure enhancement needs to focus on how to connect economy, macroeconomics to economy, microeconomics to increase gross domestic product of each geographical area. To take the United States as an example, it is very, very, very big economy. You cannot even imagine. I made several visits to too many states, and I made a business survey on a visit to Los Angeles, city of Los Angeles. The city qualified to generate between $2 trillion to $12 trillion, just Los Angeles. And the state of California has 482 municipalities, cities and towns. Just Los Angeles qualified to generate between 2 to 12 trillion dollars, $6 trillion on average on that survey. Mention any details because it's a business survey and a business solution. That's just an example. When you listen to the news, it's a very good, the maximum optimism to Washington Congress and the administration. Their talk on fiscal cliff and deficits and huge, fast, rapid growth on national debt. It does get cleared in 24 hours. 24 hours, it could get cleared. $26 trillion becomes available in 24 hours. Or I can say immediately with phone calls after brief on specific things concern the financial industry, and with other effort, number of areas, there will be much of growth you cannot even imagine. If Los Angeles, city of Los Angeles, qualified to generate between $2 to $12 trillion, imagine how many cities just in California and how many cities in the United States qualified and how many financial districts. It's a very much of good news, but it does require fewer things and it doesn't take that much time. Other countries qualify too, but it depends on each country availabilities. Number of countries they generate millions, a number of countries they generate billions of dollars, and fewer they generate trillions. World economy, or I can say world gross domestic product at this moment is about $78 trillion. It is entitled to get an increase to $400 trillion, excluding United States. United States by itself has a huge range of growth. But without United States, world gross domestic product entitled to increase to 400, from 78 to $400 trillion. That means number of countries entitled to huge growth. With just an additional focus, economy structure enhancement, connecting economy structure to economy and macroeconomics structure, connected to economy and microeconomic structure, which brings a financial microfinance structure. At this moment, that is a very good news, and it does sound United States economy not discovered yet, because it does not have an efficient microfinance structure. The equation economy structure enhancement, it takes to macroeconomics structure enhancement, it takes to economy's microeconomics structure enhancement, which brings huge growth to increase gross domestic product to trillions of dollars. From there, the growth cycle, it gets back with encouragement, tax cuts, industrial development, innovation, adjustments, all those kind of things. It does increase the growth, another cycle of growth from economy structure enhancement to gross domestic product, and from gross domestic product back to economy structure, passing through macroeconomics and microeconomics of the economy. If it talks about United States economy, if it talks about any other country, availabilities determines the results. It is too much of good news, and to industries and companies, there is a very important area within economy structure enhancement. They call it product life cycle management. There are hundreds, fewer millions of products or commodities, what you can say. I won't mention any example because example means solutions. But product life cycle management can increase the growth through too many levels, and it keeps growing and growing and growing. And when it gets to equilibrium cost point, there will be a certain level of management or adjustment. It gets back the growth forward. Those things requires number of things, part of it on economy structure, and part of it on microeconomics of the economy, and part of it on economy's microeconomics. You can get more details if you visit the latest edition in number of sites to get the latest or to follow briefs on those areas. My optimistic message to Congress, United States Congress and administration, Obama administration, President Obama administration, you don't have a deficit. It seems we have a deficit. Federal budget has a huge deficit and a huge debt interest keeps growing. It does get cleared in 24 hours. A list of solutions. In 24 hours, there will be $26 trillion available. Within less than 2 months, there will be another $268 trillion well calculated. And within another 2 months, or the similar 2 months, through economy, microeconomics, there is a $400 trillion range of growth. Those, if you add it, you get more than $600 trillion. There is no debt. There is no federal budget deficit. Just an extra effort, and unemployment will be totally cleared, and the United States becomes demanded for more foreign employment. Much of good news to come, and full details for the business survey to Los Angeles is available. A letter delivered to city mayor, and anytime, any moment, solution becomes available to Los Angeles, city of Los Angeles, or to any other city. Another solutions available to Congress, to Federal Reserve districts who can become more efficient. Those $26 trillion in 24 hours, it does relate to their jurisdiction, their function, which is not, I won't say maintained enough, but with more additional effort, $26 trillion becomes available to the economy, and much more, because it does relate to the financial industry, which concern Federal Reserve districts, Ministry of and the Department of Treasury Department. It is a pleasure to speak very fast in these important areas. No need for physical cliff, which means major cuts on departments, government agencies, and additional taxes. Instead, more growth, more tax cuts, and luxuries too. Thank you very much, and it is a pleasure to meet you, and too much of good news is waiting. And there is a 6% of any total gross amount, if it's a total clearance of a debt, or example, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they have an $8 trillion debt. It can be cleared in a business session. There are a number of things. If it's done, much of growth, and they will clear their entire debt with huge growth they can get with $2 trillion surplus. But business is business, and I'm ready anytime, any moment, train fewer and deliver those business solutions. And 6% of total growth amount, $26 trillion means $1.6 billion. It is a pleasure to meet related financial authorities to those solutions. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the latest edition.